Hey everyone, Michael back at you here again. Looking forward to finishing up this presentation series for you. This is actually video number 7. I had some problems with the past uploads, specifically video number 2. I tried to upload it and then it said upload failed. And then I tried to go back into my to upload it again through YouTube and the video wasn't there. So I had to basically take a video of the screen, which is really unprofessional, but you get the point. I'm not really trying to emphasize production quality. It's more of a content thing here. I feel like the way my brain works, I don't, have time to expel extra neural energy, worrying about little stuff like that. You get the point, and I feel like this is sufficient enough for the purposes that I'm trying to encompass in this presentation series. So yes, note that the problem with number 2. Hopefully there's no more, and everything goes on. I want to note that the whole thing with the vaccine thing, I got to watch what I say here because I don't want to get shut down at this point in the game. But I really believe it's almost more of a mark of the beast. There's this guy, David Crowley. He had this movie Gray State that was getting ready to come out. And there's been many other movies and similar subject matter, but there was a few underlying themes to his video that they didn't let it, and they killed him. Supposedly he killed his wife and a beautiful daughter as well. He was completely happy. He was an ex-army vet, and supposedly killed him in cold blood and committed suicide or something, and wrote Allah is king on the wall. Either some mind control stuff, or it was a hit CIA hit piece. But specifically, he had stuff about the Freemasons in there. There was this scene with the executioner. There was also this scene about people taking RFDI. You can search Gray State trailer. I'll try to remember to post a link here, but just please search David Crowley, Gray State trailer. Never got to go to the theaters or, independent film festivals or anything like that, but would have been very, very impactful. And I think it's the whole the concept of RFDI or human microchipping. It's I guess there's different ways of looking at it. One is right before Hitler holocausted the Jewish people, he gave them a yellow star that basically was their number to the death camp or whatever. And it was just very evil what he did. If you're gonna do that to kill people, just kill them. Don't torture them. Don't use them in sick experiments. That's the way I feel anyway. Anyhow, I really believe that there's either Rothschild blood or Trump's blood or Barron or somebody, a whole bunch of people. Probably even people from my family. Their blood's in the vaccine, and it's this coup where you're by taking it, you're taking a club or something like that. And if you think I'm making this up, look up vaccine lineages. They have to actually come from somebody's genetic DNA material. It's not even this is not my opinion, but there is genetic DNA material in pretty much every vaccine to my knowledge. If not, I don't care. I'm not taking one. You just look at my video on the flu vaccine, and it's really, really, really sad in my opinion. I told you about Gabriel, my nephew. And I've heard countless other stories about kids that started going into convulsions and all kinds of crazy stuff happen. It's really, really sad. I knew very, very intelligent people that feel the same way I do. People that talk about this often get ridiculed, or blacklisted, or just it's not good. It makes you obviously realize very fast that there's other countries and other influences that control this country and our population, and we don't have as much freedom as people think we have. So there's a lot of things that I've covered so far that you're probably wondering, how the hell does this guy know this? Or did he just make this up or whatever? A lot of it, I've used various methods. And some of it, like I said, when they're not poisoning my food, during Trump, as soon as he came in, they started poisoning my food and putting, when you start touching on some of the sensitive stuff I have, the CIA and the United States military will come in and poison me or attempt to, give me neurological blockers. There's already poison in all the food to begin with. And basically, more or so less, a lot of it comes through enlightenment. You can almost go out in the sun and, there's many, many various ways. I have, you can go down and look for every blue car that rides down the highway and take the third number in the license plate and get 3 of them together or 2 of them or whatever. Go to your dictionary and you'd be amazed. It's that random, the Matrix, the way it works, and artificial intelligence and other things. And it all traces back to China, in my opinion. But there's a scene, if you think that this is this is not real, it is real. There's actually government programs. There's a movie. There was a past movie. Some pretty good actors in it. George Clooney. It's called The Men That Stare at Goats. I'm gonna play a little clip here. And I don't know. Like I said, I have to give credit for this. It's under a minute. But yes, the movie's The Men That Stare at Goats. I don't think it was really popular, But like they talk about the exact stuff that I'm into. And like Andrea Puharich was like the godfather of parapsychology. I've talked about him innumerable times in the past. If you don't know him, please look him up. Amazing man. He was near Edgewood Arsenal. I am actually friends with a lady that has the rights to his books that he wrote. He did all these really crazy experiments with LSD, human microchipping. There's some presentations of his actually online as well, still on YouTube. He's no longer with us, but amazing man.
Chairs in a hotel bar.
So how many chairs?
Hours. What color were the chairs?
Or what color were the chairs? Sorry.
Green. Beige. How many lights are in this room? A super soldier wouldn't have to look. He would just know. A super soldier. A Jedi warrior. He'd know where all the lights were. He could walk through a room. He could tell you how many power outlets there were. People are walking around with their eyes closed. At level 1, we were trained to instantly absorb all details.
What's a Jedi warrior?
He's looking at one.
You're a Jedi warrior.
That's correct. I don't know what that means.
Anyhow, you get the point there. I'm gonna keep on rolling, and the one thing I can tell you is, as we walk steadfast and humbly in our God's holy ways, He intensively unlocks more divine intuitive information for us. Like I said, the whole point is like to walk steadfast and humbly, and like to put on the armor of God, as they say in the Philippians, and like what you stand for, says a lot about you and your character. And so I want to start with a Bible verse. This is, I believe, Matthew 6:24. And I talked in the past about the Mormons, like I don't like them. Like this is a verse I apply to polygamy, or just people who like have multiple wives or whatever. And it says, "No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he will hold the one and despise the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon." Like this is like you cannot serve God and beast. Like you can't like God will not tolerate this. Like you basically. At the end of this presentation, I'm going to get into this concept of like, there's a lot of people out there that I observed, many in my own family. They're like, they think that they're like slick hedging Zionists or something like that. Like they hedge, like, they bet on both sides. Like, they'd be on the side of Obama when he's in, then they'd be on the side of Bush or Trump when he's in. And it's like, they think it like, no matter if they can't lose. Like we are rapidly entering a world where that ain't going to fly no more. Like the time to pick sides and this like stand for something was many days ago. Let's just leave it at that. And another thing here is like I was talking about Jewish law, talking about the Jews in general. Like I said, I'm Ashkenazi, Russian Jewish, but the problem with it is this: when the second coming happens, the second coming of Jesus Christ, the Jews are not going to accept him whatsoever. And the reason is because they would have to admit that they were wrong the first time when they killed him. And just like they killed him the first time, they would probably do it again. And like I can tell you that like that's the bottom line here. Like, good luck trying to convert them. Like I said, especially when these people have already stolen the bloodline and think that they have something that they don't have. But there's other things about the Jewish law a lot of people don't know about, like burial. Like I really believe like only Jewish people should be buried with Jewish people. And like I told you about the race mixing, like they don't go for that. Tattoos, and like there's other little things that I kind of throw in as well, like just like my own judgments. Like one is the sanctity of life. Like it's come to my knowledge, there's a lot of people out there that fake their death, maybe to go underground in a bunker, maybe to go to a private island, maybe to avoid the public limelight. There could be various reasons for it. Maybe because people live longer than 100 years, or 60, 80, 100 years. Maybe they live 200 years and they have to break free. But like I truly believe if you do this, it violates like a universal law, like of the sanctity of life. Like if you like, I talked about like wave theory and to exist versus not to exist. And like if you like take away your own existence like prematurely, like I'm sure like this is not favorable in the eyes of God. I can't really explain it any deeper than that. Maybe you're with me, maybe you're not with me, but like that ain't gonna fly either. Like like if I would go as far to say that like God probably, like people that do that, God will probably send to hell. Like the Queen of England, she's rapidly approaching her day. Will she do that, or we'll see how much honor that her Excellency or Majesty Elizabeth has. And so law, like the whole thing with Trump, like backing things up to what I'm saying, like I truly believe that like when it all comes out, like a lot of the reason I'm doing this is like I'm going to send this to people in other countries that like Colombia, where the air is very pure, and like hopefully like my story will carry on. Like I have a lot of other people convinced. It's like in this country where everybody's fake. It's like the Texas oil silver spoon kids that like are relentless here. Like I can't even emphasize it enough. And so like if Trump, like I would say, like for the world to really unite, they need like him, Barron, and like about a whole bunch of other people that like basically face like a tribunal. Like if I was the judge, I would like say to him, like both of them, I would say, you know, you hereby are in violation of God's first commandment. There shall be no other gods before me. You are hereby sentenced to death by beheading and eternal damnation in the darkest depths of Hades. And like, you know, that's how serious this is. Like that's where this needs to go. I'm not pushing for violence or calling for that, but like it's just like a person, like my First Amendment choice. Like, this is what I believe. And I think like really the world, like I would say people who were against like corporal punishment or like the death penalty would agree. Like at the very least, there needs to be military tribunals. Like I guarantee you that people very close to me would be in them. And you know, also thou shalt not steal, another commandment. Like go on, he's probably committed all of them. Adultery, you name it. Muslims. Like okay, so I told you about like the whole thing with this girl Fatima. She changed my life. On a side note, she was teaching me Russian, like amazing. Like she speaks 5 languages, like very difficult ones, like Farsi, Russian, English, Turkish, Tajik, whatever, and like amazing, brilliant girl, and changed my life forever, like I said. And there was another girl I met. She was teaching me Russian. They started really poisoning my food hard because they knew I was going to probably go to Russia. Like I was picking it up real fast, but like anytime when I'm in this country, like I know about a third of the language. I'm learning more rapidly. I don't really have a lot of people to practice it with, but it was nice recently. I got to go on vacation. I'm just continually learning new and more words, the plurality and other things. Very beautiful language. So I met another girl. Her name was Ghilslaine. I met her in Kazakhstan. I really believe that she was from like Chinese imperial bloodline. But I mean, she's obviously said she was Kazakh. And so I'll show you a picture of, here's Fatima and her sister, twins, Zucchero, her sister, from a very good family. And this girl here, like I said, I was really like all about her. And she had like a magnetism to her, like unlike anybody else. And like I can't like explain it when you start talking about like heirlooms and like genetics, but like as far as like arousal goes, like I have never, like I'm going to tell you right now, I've been with many girls around the world, and I can like something about her. I've never been so turned on in my entire life. Like she was just like, it was like, whoa. And like, I truly believe because she was from a Chinese imperial bloodline. She said she was like, I think Bashkira, which is like a really interesting little group that's like formerly in Russia. You check it out. The Bashkira people, very beautiful culture. Mongols also have a very long-running history as well. Also, the famous motorcycle gang from California, named West Coast, named after them. They're actually all over the place. They're in Russia, Kazakhstan, all over. Respect few, fear none. And so, like I said, okay, so this girl, Golzira, she prayed namaz like religiously. Fatima was more of like a modern Muslim, but she told me that the Muslims actually believe that there's going to be the second coming of Christ, and that he's going to be like tethered down from heaven, and that he's going to behead the Antichrist and the false prophet or something like that. Like they believe he's going to behead him. Kind of interesting there. But yeah, both these women changed my expectations of women, and so like. She was from Uzbekistan. Like, search Uzbekistan architecture, Iran architecture. Like, I just wanted to throw this in there. But, like, go look at Washington, D.C. metro systems or New York or whatever. And this is Tashkent, Uzbekistan. I mean, this is, like, mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. I'm just going to show you a few of them. But, I mean, we have nothing like this. So the whole point of me showing you this, and also look at the Moscow ones. Look at Moscow. I thought Moscow was the best, but I think that they got them beat. And imagine what their bunkers look like. I mean, like I'm telling you, that these people have been preparing for nuclear war for a long time, and they're very, very smart people, scientists, physicists, chemists, you name it. And I truly like. I mean, they're like probably the most devout, God-fearing people the earth has. And you can also look up the Tashkent woman. Like they're legendary. Like they will strap a bomb to themselves and blow you up. Like they do not play games. They, like I said, they get this crazy look in their eye, like possessed. And like, oh my goodness. So, like I said, I talked about in the past war crimes and like my famous whistleblower interview with Filippo. Like I had like a Iraq and Afghanistan war crimes video where I like hit really hard topics. Then like I go to interview Filippo about something like kind of like just a random thing. So I'd like to do maybe more work with him from the anti-nuclear proliferation peace tent, Washington D.C. Been there every day. Somebody has to be at the tent 24 hours a day or it gets taken down. They've tried 56 times to shut him down, and they're still there, right out in front of the White House. He looks like you think he was a homeless person or something, but he's not. One of the most intelligent, brilliant people I've ever talked to. He sits there and talks to people from all around the world all day, and he can tell you a lot of stuff. And he's an expert on the topic of nuclear proliferation, other things as well, like air quality, where the currents in the world are, like where you like many topics pertaining to it. Maybe he's an FBI plant. I don't know. I like to think that there's good people out there. Maybe he's a plant from the Obama administration. I don't know. But anyhow, that was like a real big thing for me on my channel. Please view that. Like I said, I met him when I was down there with my Trump sign, and it happened to be convenient. I believe we were in the middle of nuclear warfare, and like I said, this guy's been there. It's like the tools to do the job are always there. It's whether we're cognizant enough to see them is like the real question. And, like, just even, okay, so, like, I talked about, like, the whole thing with, when I was at the airport, like, this, if you've been in a past presentation with the guy, Sergey, like, the straight Russian mafia guy, and, like, this guy was, like, pretty hardcore. Like, I'll show you a picture of him. And, Sergey. And, like, this guy, like, nobody was going to mess with this guy, I can tell you that, like, straight up. And, he was really pissed, like, okay, so, like, assuming, first off, they had no preemptive basis. Like I said, like 9/11 was staged. Okay, then we had no basis to even be in Iraq and Afghanistan, let alone take these people from their native land to Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, which I almost think violates like an international treaty of war or war crimes, and then like basically torture them when they probably didn't even know anything, and then take glory photos, like on a leash. I mean, this is like, does it get any worse? Absolutely. Does it get any worse? I mean, are you proud to fly your American flag with this? Are you proud to have your 401k in companies like Lockheed Martin? Like I said, this is all a big lesson in honor. Like, you've all been set up by the Chinese. Like, the Matrix ends with them. They basically use you to build up this country, and eventually they'll take it over. Like, they probably don't even get affected by nuclear fallout. Like, they're like so much closer to like to an heirloom parentage. Like, they're probably all pretty much heirlooms here, where we're like F-37s. F-35s, we'll call it for the sake of the joke. And, so they had no reason to be there. Like I said, that is just BS. And, like, as far as, like, I don't want to get into the whole Russian mafia thing, but, like, work that I've done for them, I earned my respect. Like I said, what I gave, I paid for in blood, like, with my own genetics. Like, like, I go there and I'm treated very, very, very dignified and very, very respected. And like I said, I've earned my keep. I was recently in Dominican Republic, and there's some Russians. We got on a charter boat, like a make-up charter trip for offshore fishing. Like, it's pretty. You don't have to go too far when you're in Dominican. And like these people basically were like one on, and then they gave me the entire boat to myself. The Russian girl and some other guys, some other people from Russia, Ukraine area, and like it was like a wink type thing. And like on a side note here, I find this to be very interesting. I showed you the legendary picture of me where I look like Putin. I was in the Potomac River fishing, and like you can see the resemblance. But like there's this up here, you can see this like, I mean, it totally looks like a face. Like this is just one of many, and there's like this hook, and like I don't know if it's like a talon or what it's supposed to represent. That's what I'm going to give Putin for his Native American spiritual name, talon. or like means to destroy everything, or like to like I said, it's like a bird of prey. Like the happy, gets into the happy hunting grounds and a bigger element of spirituality. But like that was the first time that I really started realizing like the really cool sky formations. I'm gonna show it again. I mean, this is not something I photoshopped. I wish I knew how to Photoshop. You can tell by like the quality of my work. That's like a face. Like I don't know if it's like George Washington. I have other ones that like look way more distinct than that. Like now, it's like it's evolved and they're starting to like go into multiple shapes. It's pretty cool. Really cool. And normally I get chemtrailed. I have so many times I've been chemtrailed. Like the whole time Trump was in, they chemtrailed. Obama, they didn't really chemtrail me as much. It was really weird. Like it was all started with him. And it was like there were signs that were pointing that like he was behind 9/11. Like totally like knew about it along with other people. And they another thing I forgot to mention. So I told you I think about my parents. They got divorced. Like this is backing up. Like I should have covered this before. I can't go back. I'm not going to go back. But like my parents got divorced. My earliest memory as a child was them fighting. And I told you my dad he was. I'm not going to get into the personal stuff. I mean, he was a Vietnam veteran, so like it's not really ethical, given what he probably was put through. Talk about it like that. But my stepfather Al Seltzer and his family, I thought he was a decent person, but I really believe that like he's embedded in this whole thing with probably the military and oil money. I believe he's almost like part of the whole Mormon thing, that his ex-wife was like connected to ExxonMobil, or the oil Zionists, we're gonna call him the oil Zionists. And like I can almost tell you because my stepfather's daughter got married, and we go to the wedding, and there's like this clone there and some simple white trash hillbillies that all had on Air Force Navy stuff and thought that it was like something to be proud of. There was one guy there that had on a Japan shirt, and it was like he was like subconsciously telling me about honor. Like I don't know, it was kind of weird. So like you take any family, and like not everybody's good, not everybody's bad. Like it's not good to paint people with a broad brush. Let's be aware of that as well. But so like the point is like these people stink. Like this guy, my stepfather, his son even looks like Jeffrey Epstein. Like very, very close. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this is like all deeper connected. And like my stepfather looks like Joe Biden as well, and grew up like right where Joe Biden's from. And like I'm telling you, like it's stinky. Like I want out of here. Like they messed up. Like they should have just gave me a happy life, but they got greedy, and I guess that's what gets you in the end. So another thing I told you about George Vogel, my great grandfather, the one that the Civil War hero. I forgot to mention as well that like he was actually had his great grandparents or his parents I think came over from Bavaria, Germany. So like they're straight from Bavaria, like Bavarian Illuminati, like real Bavarian Illuminati. There's like just like there's different Russian mafia sects. There's different sects of the Bavarian Illuminati. You have people in America that have all this money, fake printed money of America. They think that they're God, and they think that they represent the Bavarian Illuminati. I have a couple living very close to me, and I know this. Their names, like you can search there's 13 names associated with the Illuminati, and the truth is that there's other ones that are much above them that don't want their name in a search query when you search for it. There's like something known as the Council 300, which is the 300 most powerful families in the world. But yes, like that's just kind of interesting about him. And so I told you about the girl Liana too. I wanted to show you a picture of her. The girl, like I said, like with the sky, I want to go to Kiev. First, Alina told me you're going to go to Kiev and you like it, Miss Illuminati yourself. I come across this A negative girl, like pure magnetism, like singularity, everything. Like the sky was just arced up, like it was ready to open up. And you see this girl. She looked like an alien. She was like a Cro-Magnon, like straight Little Miss Illuminati. And so, side note on Russian and Ukrainian women, I don't know how old you are, but if you ever like the best ones are the old Soviet girls, the old Soviet women. Like the younger ones, they're just like not the greatest. They're pretty much materialistic, and all they care about is themselves and money, and like what you're gonna do for them. Whereas the old Soviet ones, like they remember, like what life was like in old Russia, and in my opinion, they're the best. So like I told you also as well, that like towards the end of Trump's presidency, when like he started realizing he was getting his ass handed to him, he started to attempt to like come out and saying all this stuff with China, like they were going to start war with China. And there's like I told you before, I've showed in past presentations, Putin had, like you can go on YouTube and search men in black suits, Putin. Like when the president, he said he's talked to 3 or 4 presidents, and every single one, when they get inaugurated, day one when they get inaugurated, 2 or 3 men with black suits on. He's like, much like the one I have on, basically like hardcore like Russian Zionist, Russian Jewish oil like mafia is basically what it is. They give him like certain things to not touch, and then certain like I guess like talking points as well with like what they're gonna do. But like on this list of things not to touch is war with China, probably also free energy. I can tell you the other ones, but I'm not gonna waste my time. Like it's not really pertinent to my presentation. But like when he started trying to start this, what he did, he didn't like. Okay, so another like luminary that I really like a hero, almost a hero of mine, Mao Zedong. Which there's actually rumors that Putin was related to Mao Zedong. Like his family tree is like suppressed. Like you can't find it anywhere. And everybody says it goes back to Mao Zedong. You can see it like not too far. And like he's probably related to me as well. Because like I said, I'm related to Putin. I don't really know. I'm not going to get into it. I know that it goes back to the Imperial Chinese bloodline. But like he was like a revolutionary. And he wrote, I think it was the book was called Even a Spark Can Start a Prairie Fire. And he talked about how the black people were suppressed so much in this country that it was going to eventually lead to like a revolution. And like straight out, like Tupac Shakur also talked about this as well. I got in my presentation with Filippo, War Stories, it's called. He talks all about it, what happened. Really, really good if you're interested in the BLM thing, the riots that happened. But like when he started trying to come out after China, the black people knew what was going on. And like he basically he recruited thousands, if not millions, of Chinese and Russian soldiers, basically. I mean, these people took to the streets, and like, I really believe, and like the whole thing with like, I can't breathe, I really believe it was because of the whole radiation and like this, like the air, like, I think there was more to it. I mean, George Floyd, rest in peace, you know, I'm not taking anything away from him. You know, like I support the African-American people for the most part. There's good black people, there's bad black people, there's good white people, there's bad white people. It's just simple as that. But what bothers me is the ones in the Freemasons. Every single one of them is an Uncle Tom. And like they're just sellouts. And like you can just see it in their face. Like the only thing they live for is their like idolatry nature. Like they worship money. And like you can just tell. So yes, very interesting there, like about how Mao Zedong talked about this. And what do you know about the black line? Leave it at that. So trying to get into finishing here. And you know, like this was basically a huge death blow to the Freemasons. Huge death blow. And like I used to go to a Pentecostal church, and I've been to many churches. And like out of all the churches I've ever been to, I enjoyed you know, the ones with the African American people. Like they amazing gospel singing, just like giving testimonies, anointing with the oil, like a deeper connection to spirituality with than like the Anglos and like, you know, the Protestants and Baptists or so forth. Carolyn Strouser was my preacher, and she was amazing. Red-haired woman, had fire in her, like passion. And I wish she was here today. And I wish I had recordings of her. She's just absolutely amazing. And like kind of like a Billy Graham. And so like let's just reference John 3:16. I have to start another video here in a minute, but like, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, and whoever shall believe in him, Jesus Christ, whoever shall believe in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Like this is like the one that everybody knows, but like God didn't give, you know, Trump. God didn't give, you know, some CIA person's daughter. Like, you know, understand that like he gave his only begotten Son. Like this is a big deal. Like, it's the whole thing is a very valuable lesson straight out of the pages of the Bible. I'm going to leave it here and start another presentation. But like I told you before, the 2 things that I've learned. One, that the Grail doesn't belong to one country. It was put here for the entire world, all of humanity, to benefit from this. Number 2, that even your own family will betray you. It's that like this out of greed and jealousy. Okay? see you again. This was presentation 7. Next one will be presentation 8. I think I'll be finishing up there. The numbers might be mixed up in sequence. If it kind of confused you, I'm very sorry for that. But again, and also about presentation number 2, hopefully I have no more problems uploading them.